Hi, I'm a prostitute autist Anon paid to read the following script because he knows Rubic holders will attempt to attack him personally rather than the information contained in this video. On Friday, March the 5th, Rubic allegedly released a new feature, their implementation of limit orders. In this video, I will demonstrate that this feature does not work, has never worked, and that the devs lied about having it completed, faking a feature release with such extreme fees that they hoped no one would actually test it. Limit orders were first announced during a Rubic AMA on February the 5th. The CEO said they were going to use chain-link oracles to create this feature. This strongly implies these are going to be fully decentralized limit orders, otherwise you would have no need for oracles.
There's a question regarding chain link integration, and I didn't plan to share this information, but we are working on a limit orders feature. You know that our order book is a working solution, but not everyone understands how to use it, since every time you need a second party who will close your deal. And we plan to release in 2 weeks a solution when you create like a limit order, like on centralized exchange, but it will be executed on Uniswap if the conditions are met. And for this information, we potentially can use chain link oracles to understand what is the price for the currency. Should we do a limit order right now or wait a little bit, and so on. So yes, but let us implement limit orders feature at first.
In the Rubic weekly report posted on February the 12th, they announced the release date for this feature would be February the 25th. This tweet, posted on February the 18th, explicitly says Rubic will allow traders to execute limit orders all within a decentralized ecosystem, repeating that this feature will be a decentralized implementation of limit orders. Here is another weekly report on February the 19th, saying they continue the development and finish the back-end implementation. They confirm they have not even started the models or main logic, but repeat the 25th as a release date here, a date that is 4 working days away. To expect to write the logic, models, and thoroughly test any decentralized code for something like this in 4 days is insane. It would have been obvious to any competent dev team this feature was not going to be ready in time. A tweet posted on February the 21st once again gives the 25th as a release date for limit orders. There is a Clubhouse AMA on the 24th, 1 day before release. They make no mention of the feature or any possible delay. On the 25th, they say they are launching to the dev server to be monitored. What does this mean? What servers are involved in this? Isn't this meant to be decentralized limit orders? The release date was clearly stated as the 25th. The attempt at passing off pushing something to a dev server as the feature being released demonstrates the team is willing to be insincere. Note, they say it will be released on the evening of the 26th, pushing the release as late as possible the next day. At almost midnight in Moscow on the 26th, they finally announced that the feature will be delayed for another week, saying that they have completed development but more time is needed for QA and integration testing. The new release date is now the 5th of March. Clearly the team are in over their heads with this. They have no realistic idea of the time it will take them to deliver the features, delaying by a day and then a week. A week passes, and on March the 5th they finally release this feature. However, it has the following conditions: a 3 Ethereum volume limit and a 0.15 Ethereum platform fee. This fee was never mentioned before and is extremely high. They claim they will monitor the situation and trading volumes. To briefly explain how they say it works, you place the order you want, say to trade 1 Ethereum for 1000 Rubic. They claim this will execute when the order can be filled and the platform fee and gas fees can be paid out of the value of the order. So rather than the Uniswap rate being 1 Ethereum to 1000 Rubic, it would have to be 1 minus 0.15 Ethereum minus gas fees to 1000 Rubic. Roughly 0.8 Ethereum to 1000 Rubic, assuming very high gas fees. This makes testing the feature extremely difficult, as anyone placing realistic limit orders has to have the rate move significantly above what you would expect it to execute at to get it filled, and to quickly test if the feature works at all, you have to be comfortable potentially burning hundreds of dollars. Over the next few days, I placed several orders that should have filled, proving that the feature was not working. Here is a dev confirming that unfavorable trades should execute. People have tried to claim the orders need to be public. This data is not sent to the smart contract. It is just stored on Rubic's servers as a toggle for the order being displayed publicly. It has no effect on the ability for the order to fill, and the Rubic FAQ explicitly states you can change privacy settings while creating limit orders. None of these orders automatically filled. At this point, people started asking questions. They were promptly banned from the Telegram. The only response the devs have given in the 4 days since this feature that clearly does not work was to link an order from before the feature released as an example of it working. So let's take a look at that. Here we can see that the order is to sell 0.1 Ethereum for 100 rubic. Straight away I questioned how this could have possibly been auto-filled given that the platform fees are apparently 0.15 Ethereum. Any order with a value less than this amount could never execute. I was told that at the time the platform fee was set to 0.01 Ethereum for testing purposes. Here is the Etherscan for that transaction. We can confirm it's the same as the amounts are correct, trading 0.1 Ethereum for 100 rubic. Then the expiry date is the exact same. This order was placed, then filled in this transaction. 3 minutes later, this address places a trade on Uniswap, swapping 0.024 Ethereum for 100 rubic, and then 13 minutes later, it fills the order. This is a regular address, not controlled by a smart contract. This order the devs presented as proof of automatically filled limit orders was manually completed. It is of course possible the address is controlled by centralized code, but wasn't this meant to be decentralized limit orders? And isn't it pretty shitty code if it takes 3 minutes to see an order it can fill, then 12 minutes after making a swap on Uni to fill the order? The reality is, this order was manually executed and is absolutely not an example of an automatically filled limit order. They try passing this off as proof of the feature working. They lied. This test transaction was also placed on the order book smart contract that is currently in use. We can go back and see the other dev test transactions from the same addresses. I have checked every single one of these. In fact, I've checked every single order ever filled on this contract. They were all just manually traded against. During testing and post-release, there has not been a single example of anything that could possibly be an automated filling. If this feature is meant to be what amounts to an arbitrage bot running off centralized code, even the roasty reading this could have that up and running in a week. Just watch the contract for orders, make the Uniswap trade if it's profitable, fill the order. Please don't pretend this is the intended feature, because if it is and the devs still haven't delivered it after a month, that's arguably even worse. The platform fees actually mean that any random retard could create that centralized arbitrage bot and perform limit orders that execute closer to the market price than the Rubic limit order implementation. We can also look directly at the order book smart contract code and confirm there is nothing here that could autofill against a DEX. To demonstrate my complete confidence that this feature is bullshit, a few hours ago I placed and filled an order to trade 1 Ethereum for 1 rubic, the exact trade the dev explicitly said would work on Sunday, and a personal loss of $1,700 if it filled. Needless to say, it did not fill. It has been 4 days since this release. The feature does not and has never worked. The devs have been completely silent except for a single post linking a transaction they claimed was proof that I have demonstrated was manually filled. There is no possible good faith interpretation anymore. This wasn't some bugged rollout. The feature does not work and the devs know it doesn't work, as the evidence they give us is orders they manually filled. They released it with extremely high fees, relying on the fact that no one would be dumb or autistic enough to test it thoroughly, clearly hoping they could finish whatever shitshow of an implementation they are trying to make before anyone noticed. They still haven't even acknowledged or admitted the feature isn't working 4 days later. This evening in Telegram, someone not even directly on the team announced they were going to create a walkthrough video to be released at the end of tomorrow, implying the issue is people not creating the orders correctly. If this was some simple misunderstanding, it would have taken 5 minutes of typing to clear up. You really think any legit dev team releases a delayed feature on a Friday and not a single person on that team even looks at it for the next 4 days? You think any legit team links an order as proof of a feature working and just hopes no one is autistic enough to go find the transaction on Etherscan and prove it was just manually filled? You think a team that fucks up this badly in every aspect, in estimating when a feature will be ready, in delivering that feature, in transparency, in communication, in honesty, is going to be the team that delivers the rest of their roadmap? The only people that will even attempt to defend this are bag holders who want to unload on you. Thanks for listening, Anons, and I hope anyone who doesn't defend this shit makes it.